around the world. Um, it's just awesome to see people come together, unite. Um, yeah, it's amazing. It's funny because in California, well, I'm sorry, Texas, uh, um, Texas, they had a turnout. D.C. had over 200,000 people, or at least 200,000. It was amazing, and the only bigger, I don't know if y'all remember the Million Man March held held 270,000, and that was back when our people were protesting civil rights and the right to vote, everything. We turned out 270,000 in the Million Man March, which happened in 1995, led by Elijah Muhammad. Um, and these numbers are crazy. It shows you, man, we could do this. We could do it. And I also want to talk about this, man. This is crazy because I seen a guy on a podcast talking about socialism, and it's funny that these MAGA people can't understand. They fighting against themselves. They're we want to talk about socialism, and they just taking our tax monies and building their own wealth. They don't even care about their own people no more. They robbing them. And we giving Israel $1 billion on weapons of genocide. I was in the army, and we had a Geneva Convention. There's so many things you could do in the army that's lawful, and you go to if you break these laws, you go to the United Nations. You could be criminalized, which a lot of them. I mean, you take Israel president and our president that broke all these laws. It's criminal. But with that being said, it's crazy because you know we spend all this money there, and they got universal health care. They take care of their people, but we're not being taken care of here, and they're using our money recklessly, taxpayers, and they want to talk about socialism. I don't understand mega because they don't even realize that they robbed them blind. They're just misusing taxpayers' money. Again, this is what this socialism crap. It's just this is what this fight is about. And but yeah, man, this is awesome. Another thing I want to bring up is the when they talk about that's see the Epstein files, right? I mean, and it's funny how the laws are different when it comes to us because I had I mean if you subpoenaed the court and you don't go, you got a warrant. You got a warrant. They looking for you now, you know. But in this government, what happened to abetting, um, aiding and abetting? Don't you think that I think that Congress is hiding things? That's aiding and abetting. That's obstruction. If they put me on the street and I don't answer their questions, which I got the Fifth Amendment to remain silent. I don't have to help you in your investigation. But then if I don't do that, then they want to throw an obstruction charge on me because I'm not helping them. A lot of this is going on. In other words, they're misusing their powers. And if you don't know the Constitution and study it and know your rights, then they'll take advantage of you. I got a I happened to get over a case that I was totally right. I mean, I didn't do anything wrong. They tried to railroad me, but Um, I stood on my constitutional rights, you know, to the point it was thrown out, and a lot of times that's what happened to our people because we can't afford lawyers and all this other stuff, so they get you down there and give you a plea deal. In other words, they want you to plead guilty to a crime that you didn't commit, so you get a letter sentence. We're scared to go to trial because you go to trial, it gets worse. You know, I was looking at least 5 years. So, and that's how they scare you to convince you to accept a plea deal and admit to something you didn't do. Why? Because you don't have a lawyer. I went through probably 5, 6 public defenders, um, some of which they didn't even know what was going on. But yeah, that's how they hem us up. And I try to teach my kids, man, know your rights. If people don't even have the sense to know, if they get you in an interrogation room for hours at a time, you get tired and they trying to convince you and they want to weigh you out so you can, all right, I did it, so I go home and get some sleep or whatever, just get some sleep or eat something. Um, they do these tactics and little do they know, all they got to do is say, I want to talk to a lawyer. They got to end it. They got to drop all of it. They can't talk to you no more. It's all over. And they don't have sense enough to know that. So I'm just bringing that up to let people know, practice, understand the law, uh, understand your rights, um, get educated about the Constitution, First Amendment, Second Amendment, Third Amendment, Fourth Amendment, all the amendments in the Constitution. That way, when you get educated, you can speak up and you know that what they can and cannot do. You know how many police officers don't even know the Constitution? They don't even know, and they swore in to the Constitution. When I was in the military, I swore to offend the Constitution. Our enemies, foreign and domestic, but I'm following the Constitution. That's like somebody in the military, a lieutenant, tell me an order that I know is unlawful. He go over there, he can tell me anything. Go over there and tell me, hey, go over there and do this, and I know it's unconstitutional. I know it's wrong. I don't want to give you no examples, but I mean, you could think for yourself. You know right from wrong. Hey man, I ain't doing that because it's against the law. And again, I said that because we follow the Constitution. We don't follow a man. And I hope our military. All, I keep telling my son that all the guys out there in the military, please, please keep in mind you're following the Constitution, not no man. And I think, and I'm kind of proud to see that too, because a lot of that is happening. You know, the military ain't going along with this. We're not fighting against our own citizens. You know, they're not going along with it. And another thing I want to say before I go, I've seen a lot of, which is amazing, man. I'm so glad that I was here to see this. A lot of black people are coming together and uniting. I've been following this, man, and I mean, like all of these gang members and all this stuff going on, they're coming together, and they're coming together as one unit, and they're giving it all up, man, to fight. And our people are finally waking up and realizing, as you notice, our rap is changing into gospel. So I'm seeing a change, man, and I thank God that He left me here to see it, you know, and it's a beautiful thing, and it's just something I was hoping for the longest. But yeah, it was amazing. It was an amazing fight. We out there. We got to keep the fight up. It ain't over. But I love all my people, white, black. I don't care what color you are, or where you came from, or what position you are, or how bad. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're with us. We're fighting this fight together, and it's more of us than it is them. So yeah, I haven't been going live yet on my platform, so I plan to do that. Um, I don't know, later on the day maybe, but I do want to try to grow this thing. And anyway, I appreciate everybody that support me, and yeah, let's keep the fight. Until then, I'll see you later.